Okay, this is Bill again, and I just want to talk a little bit about this Section 230 issue and the NDAA for a minute. I want to reemphasize that my own public speech needs to be my own. I see it as kind of like a currency, almost like a cryptocurrency. It's part of my own individual agency. So there's pressure for me to have skin in the, there's a lot of pressure on me to have skin in the game in the lives of other people, even though I'm not, I don't have children of my own, or I'm not directly connected to anyone very much right now in terms of having someone's back and so forth, or being responsible for someone. In terms of speech, people want to see you get results for other people, to actually do real good for people, to meet with their real needs. As far as that means that they become customers, would pay for you because you're helping them in a transactional sense. It also means if you write, it tends to encourage, handbook or recipe writing rather than philosophical writing or analysis, which is what I like to do. I like to do the critical thinking, the connecting the dots, the seeing of new kinds of threats and so forth. The gays in the military issue back as it evolved in the 90s was a central issue that got me started on this. And the nature of that issue was that it encouraged this kind of thinking of bringing unusual things together, like intimacy, forced intimacy, the sharing of sacrifice, conscription, my own work history. And it brought in the issue of the military draft, and I was able to make a big contribution on that issue. The pandemic today provides a somewhat similar kind of issue. Now, some of the psychological issues are like upward affiliation, cherry picking, stepping up, in relationships with other people. Those are the subtle issues that are kind of affecting the way we face perils together, like military service or war or the pandemic today, and being able to bond to people when they need you, not just because you're attracted to them. That's a kind of an issue. So the unlimited access to being able to speak globally to reach the entire world isn't something you should necessarily take for granted on user-generated content. So there is this issue with the override of the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, next with Trump's veto of it. Many of you may not have heard that that Senator Lindsey Graham has offered a bill to sunset Section 230 in 2 years, which would encourage reform. One of the reforms might be to put a lot of speech, particularly on web host speech, not so much conventional social networking, but simply writing that you want to self-publish, behind what you call a common carrier idea. But that would mean you have to accept the idea that individual political speech